Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. John Deaton here on Twitter. What have I and my 68,000 friends been saying all along? Every altcoin is in danger. He's retweeting out this latest tweet from Bitcoin Archive. Bitcoin is the only one I'm willing to say is a commodity. Guys, that is a quote from Gary Gensler. And we're going to talk a little bit about that in a sec. First, I wanted to bring you guys this news from Michael at Val5 Links. Celsius dodged a liquidity crisis for weeks and has been resisting guidance from its own lawyers to file Chapter 11 bankruptcy. So some more news from the Celsius saga. Embattled crypto leader Celsius Network is hoping that a show of support from its users will save it from bankruptcy. Celsius, dogged by a liquidity crisis for weeks, has been resisting guidance from its own lawyers to file Chapter 11 bankruptcy. That was what was reported just yesterday. Chapter 11 is among the most expensive forms of bankruptcy proceedings. Under this formal process, a court helps a business restructure its debt and obligations while it continues to operate. In a bid to win an internal argument with its lawyers, Celsius now wants to prove that most users would prefer the company to dodge bankruptcy altogether. So Celsius is now arguing with their lawyers that, look, our users do not want us to go bankrupt, and we're going to see if we can find a different way to go about this. Users can reportedly demonstrate their support by activating HODL mode in their Celsius accounts, a security feature for customers who don't wish to withdraw or transfer funds for an extended period. Celsius has blocked withdrawals and transfers on the platform since June 12th, but users can still display trust in the network by initiating the HODL feature. The report said, despite withdrawal restrictions, Celsius has continued to receive some client deposits. Maybe some people that didn't receive the memo. Nevertheless, they are pleading to their network of users, please put your funds in HODL mode if you want to support the Celsius network, if you do not want us to file for bankruptcy, and then we'll get a sense of who is on board with keeping the Celsius project alive and who hates our effing guts, I guess, is what they're trying to gauge here. Anyway, interesting news there. Considering this also came out yesterday, Celsius CEO Alex Mashinsky accused of trying to run admits company bankruptcy. So apparently the CEO of Celsius, Alex Mashinsky, is allegedly seeking a way out of the US after the firm's scandalous liquidity shortage. Exactly 2 weeks ago, the crypto firm paused all withdrawals, swaps, and transfers, as we know. Alex Mashinsky is being accused of lying to customers also about the safety of their funds. Mashinsky has gone silent, and there is no sign that customer funds will be released anytime soon. That was a statement from a couple of days ago. And then he apparently tried to flee. Now, according to crypto investor Mike Alfred, the executive attempted to leave the US for Israel through Morristown Airport. He was, however, spotted by authorities, but it remains unclear whether he was arrested or just barred from traveling. Alfred now speculates that Mashinsky has already been contacted by the FBI in question regarding Celsius's troubles. He also says it is unlikely customers will be able to redeem their assets soon, noting it's in the hands of the lawyers now, for better or for worse. So a little bit more information here with regards to Celsius. Alex Mashinsky, I don't know why he would think he'd be able to travel freely, considering this is a huge pickle that he has found himself into. Anyway, there were some people over there on Twitter saying, like Zach here, at Zach Hodl on. I don't know if, I think this guy is associated with the Celsius network. Anyway, he said, update, consistent with our previous messages, all Celsius employees, including our CEO, are focused and hard at work in an effort to stabilize liquidity and operations. To that end, any reports that the Celsius CEO has attempted to leave the US are false. So, despite the report that Mashinsky was detained at Morrison Airport, Zach here is saying, no, these are false accusations. He did not try to leave the country. So, I guess we are still going to see. Meanwhile, the broader cryptocurrency industry, not the market per se, but the broader industry is not looking too good. Voyager Digital issues notice of default to Three Arrows Capital. So this is just going back to what Kevin O'Leary was saying, that we do need to see another big player go to zero. So what's going to happen here? Crypto exchange Voyager Digital has issued a notice of default to hedge fund Three Arrows Capital for its failure to repay 15,250 Bitcoin and 350 million USDC coin in a loan disclosed in a previous statement. In a market update by Voyager, the exchange noted that it's currently exploring legal remedies that are available with its advisors and is aiming to pursue the recovery of its funds from 3AC. So guys, it looks like the dominoes are continuing to fall here, this time with Voyager Digital. I'm not going to perseverate too much on these. I just kind of wanted to hit on some of these points on some more things that are going on in the cryptoverse right now. Another one from Michael. You don't say. This report further noted that some investors have been shorting USDT coin. So investors are still eyeing Tether's USDT. Pablo Ardoino, the chief technology officer of Bitfinex and its stablecoin Tether, has reacted to reports that traditional hedge funds have joined retail traders in shorting USDT. So if you guys do not know, USDT did recently lose its peg to the US dollar, and investors are looking at it saying this could be the beginning of the end for Tether, and they're placing short positions on Tether. The Wall Street Journal reported Monday that a growing number of hedge funds have open USDT short positions worth hundreds of millions of dollars in notional value, with Genesis Global Trading Inc., a leading crypto brokerage for professional investors, in the past month. And here's a quote: "There has been a real spike in the interest from traditional hedge funds who are taking a look at Tether and looking to short it," Leon Marshall, Genesis head of institutional sales, told the Wall Street Journal in an interview. So more turmoil, this time focused on Tether. So whether it's Voyager Digital, Tether, or Celsius, these are just some more players right now who are being decimated by the current crypto market, despite the fact that, we have not really seen too much more bearish momentum. Right now, Bitcoin is trading just under $21,000 at $20,936. If I bring up XRP real quick here, XRP trading at about 34.7, so 0.347. So not too much in the way of volatility. But guys, Gary Gensler did come out and say Bitcoin is the only one I'm willing to say is a commodity. Here is a clip from CNBC from just yesterday. Listen to this.
Look, this is a highly speculative asset class. We've known this for a long time. The ups and downs of this speculative asset class, Bitcoin, and hundreds of other tokens. And many of these tokens offer the investing public, or the investing public is hoping, I should say, hoping for a return. Just like when they invest in other financial assets we call securities. And many of these financial assets, crypto financial assets, have the key attributes of a security. So some of them, they're under the Securities and Exchange Commission. Some, like Bitcoin, and that's the only one, Jim, I'm going to say, because I'm not going to talk about any one of these tokens, but
sure.
My predecessors and others have said they're a commodity. Working together, there's two great market regulators in this country. I had the honor to chair the CFTC, a terrific agency. I have the honor now to chair the Securities and Exchange Commission. A little bit different remits, a little bit different approaches, but working together with the banking regulators as well. There's work to be done there around what's called stable coins. There's a lot of work to be done to really protect the investing public. And many of these tokens right now are trying to operate, they're potentially non-compliant, and I'll leave it at that, Jim.
Many tokens are still non-compliant, so Gary Gensler not really budging, and he's saying the only one I'm willing to say is a commodity on the record is Bitcoin. That's not to say that is the only commodity, though. Documenting Ripple also bringing this up. This is a purposely deceitful lie. Gary Gensler very clearly stated, there are other cryptocurrencies that are commodities but won't name them. Stop the FUD. I have a feeling that it's because they probably still need to sort out the Ripple XRP lawsuit. Haley Lennon also bringing this up, seeing a lot of tweets misrepresenting what Gensler said today. Well, I'd love regulatory clarity. He didn't say Bitcoin is the only commodity. He said Bitcoin is the only crypto he is prepared to publicly label as a commodity. Friendly reminder, regulators are very careful with their words and giving up future claims of jurisdiction over things. So, again, Gensler willing to say Bitcoin is a commodity, not a security based on its history. Meanwhile, I forget who said it, Crypto Bag Boy posted a video later on in the thread, but it was someone here who was saying that they would actually have to know Satoshi's identity if they were to decide to make Bitcoin a security. And then Crypto Bag Boy here posted this video.
Nobody actually knows who Satoshi Nakamoto, well, maybe my former colleague at Goldman Sachs knows.
Whoa! Former colleague at Goldman Sachs knows who Satoshi is? Things that make you go, Okay, but for all intents and purposes, at least on the record, Gary Gensler is saying, Bitcoin, the only one I'm willing to say is a commodity. XRP Crow saying, Mr. Gensler, do you have amnesia? Bringing up a quote from 2018 when Gary Gensler was still at MIT. You could use blockchain, but you need a bridge currency in between, and that bridge could be a stable value that's backed by the US dollar or a euro, or it could be a currency like Ripple has an alternative. So discussing XRP in that context of that bridge currency, clearly not a security, utilized on a blockchain that is functional. And even in 2018, they were running pilot projects and proof of concept. So why not list more cryptocurrencies? Why are you not willing to say more are commodities? Are we still waiting for the SEC lawsuit to play out? Well, John Deaton here bringing us a great tweet thread, some facts and dates proving that this lawsuit was used as a weapon. In 2013, Chris Larson gave a presentation to regulators, including the SEC, the Federal Reserve, and FinCEN, discussing his plan to utilize the XRPL and how he intends to distribute XRP. And guys, this timeline is really important because the SEC really did say that everything sold from 2013 onward was considered a security. So these points really should be sticking, and I'm sure Ripple's lawyers are likely using a lot of these points. I got to give credit to John Deaton for kind of amalgamating everything and putting it all in one thread. 2 years after that meeting in 2015, FinCEN and the DOJ enter into a settlement with Ripple, declaring XRP a convertible virtual currency, and force Ripple to register XRP sales with FinCEN, not the SEC. But the SEC was made aware of the deal and its terms pursuant to info sharing. On June the 13th, 2018, the SEC enforcement lawyers wrote a legal memo analyzing XRP under the Howey test, and these enforcement lawyers do not conclude XRP is a security, and so not recommend an enforcement action or a cease and desist letter against Ripple. Again, guys, this is all leading up to the lawsuit. Okay, we're still in 2018, June 14th. Hinman gives his speech on decentralized networks and says present-day sales of Ethereum are not securities, thus suggesting any network that is as decentralized or more decentralized than Ethereum, the SEC will not consider a token a security. In August of 2018, Brad Garlinghouse and Joel Katz, David Schwartz, meet with Hinman and Clayton seeking regulatory clarity regarding XRP, and Garlinghouse complained that Ripple was living in purgatory over the lack of clarity. Neither Clayton nor Hinman respond or inform him that XRP is a security. So this was even after the Hinman speech in August, a couple of months afterwards. In September of 2018, Garlinghouse met with SEC Commissioner Elad Roisman over the lack of clarity, and Elad said, "I apologize you're even here," or words to that effect, and Garlinghouse leaves the meeting feeling more positive about the SEC's views over XRP's regulatory status. So even Ripple at that time felt fairly confident, despite the fact that they did not get concrete a phrase, a concrete statement from the SEC that they were in the clear. However, if you guys remember, in January 2019, Coinbase, with its experienced, sophisticated securities lawyers, met with Hinman and the SEC and informed the SEC that Coinbase has run XRP through its security framework and concluded today's XRP is not a security and plans to list XRP immediately. I remember this point in time. I remember everybody was so excited that XRP was finally going to be listed on Coinbase because before that, it was very difficult to purchase XRP. There was a period in time where it wasn't as easy. This XRP meeting with the SEC was very important to Coinbase because it intended to file for an IPO. So that was the other thing. Coinbase was worried about their IPO and they wanted to make sure they were all above board. Hinman and the SEC did not dispute Coinbase's conclusion that today's XRP is not a security, and Coinbase did list in February of 2019 and thus was eventually allowed to go public with their IPO, and that happened in April of 2021. So that's right, Ripple gave the SEC written notice that Ripple was planning to distribute the same token, XRP, that the SEC enforcement lawyers analyzed 1 year prior to the MoneyGram deal. Okay, so let's not forget, this was around the same time as that MoneyGram deal. The SEC did nothing, just like they did nothing to counter Coinbase's listing of XRP. On January 1st, 2020, Baylor Inc. filed an ethics disclosure with the SEC, making assurances and guarantees to the SEC that the only cryptocurrencies Baylor or its affiliates would trade or hold would be the ones the SEC and the market consider non-security, so Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP. And this was less than 1 year before the SEC finally decided to lay down the law and file the lawsuit against Ripple. In light of the extremely complex nature of the legal analysis regarding cryptocurrencies to determine which ones are securities and which ones are not, Baylor has decided to allow investments in 3 cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, that are generally accepted to be currencies and are not currently subject to regulation by the SEC. These 3 cryptocurrencies are treated as non-covered securities. Outside of these cryptocurrencies, investment in other cryptocurrencies is prohibited. So this was finally, the framework that Baylor put forth. The first time the SEC informed Ripple it believed XRP was a security was a few months before filing the lawsuit in December of 2020 after multiple meetings in years prior, including 2 months after the XRP memo was written. On December 17th, 2020, do you guys remember this? Joseph Grunfest, whom I did a video on, I'll link that up here in the top right-hand corner, at that time, wrote to Clayton, Hester Peirce, and another SEC commissioner, Allison Heron-Lee, and the other commissioners and all senior SEC officials pleading with them to not bring a suit alleging XRP as a security because innocent holders would be financially devastated and harmed. Grunfest, who served as a liaison between the SEC, Joe Lubin, Vitalik Buterin, and Steven Narinoff, made clear that there was no material distinction between Ethereum and XRP, and by suing XRP, it called into question the SEC's true motive behind filing the lawsuit. Grunfest said the max exodus of SEC leadership who pushed the lawsuit but was immediately leaving raised obvious concerns. And he said if you file the case, the exchanges will be compelled to delist XRP despite trading it for almost 8 years. And that's exactly what happened on December 22nd, 2020. Clayton's last full day at the SEC, guys, I remember it clearly. The SEC files a lawsuit against Ripple. And even though there isn't one single count of fraud, the SEC takes the unusual step of suing the individual executives. But the SEC doesn't limit its allegations to only include sales offered by Ripple or its executives. The SEC claims every sale of XRP from 2013 until today made by anyone who purchased XRP, including exchanges and retail holders, are all sales of unregistered securities. So if you purchased XRP before 2020, but after 2013, you're basically implicated in this. Astonishingly, though, the SEC now claims that the XRP Ripple transfer to MoneyGram after telling the SEC about it was also illegal. Moreover, when MoneyGram turned around and sold that XRP to retail holders, it too was illegal. Everything Grunfest warned did come true. So we got the MoneyGram story too. That was a recent partnership at that time. They had just partnered with MoneyGram, I believe the year before. But now the SEC's turning around and saying, Ripple, even though you have forged this partnership, that XRP that you sold to them, that's also considered a security, illegal, and a big no-no. And I think that that's probably why they dissolved the partnership. I mean, we don't actually have a clear reason as to why that partnership did dissolve, but I think it is fairly obvious that was the case. We learned that Clayton told A16Z, which is Anderson Horowitz, is it? Chris Dixon to assemble a working group and write up a proposal. Dixon looks to Lowell Ness from Perkins Coie, who has worked for A16Z from the beginning. Perkins Coie is a member of the EEA. These A16Z lawyers write up a safe harbor. And then since Perkins Coie is a member of the EEA, which only promotes Ethereum, it isn't a surprise that Ethereum is the only token mentioned in the safe harbor. Hinman didn't receive a retirement pension from Simpson Thacher. He was an ongoing profit-sharing partner. Hinman collected $15 million. So now it gets into a little bit of the where Ethereum is creeping in and where John Deaton and others are supposing that the Ethereum Foundation in with the SEC and they were working together to prop up Ethereum and that blockchain technology over Ripple and purposely sabotaging Ripple. So the tweet thread goes on here. Let me just move down here though. JPM coin was a direct competitor to Ripple and XRP. The deal with Consensus was August 2020, 4 months before the lawsuit. Clayton voted to bring the action versus his law firm's biggest client competitor and voted versus fellow Republican commissioners as per Charles Gasparino and Eleanor Turret. So now bringing in the Fox business reporters. As you guys can see in this report, they even mention the examples JPM coin and Ripple's XRP. Which I believe was that from a WEF report? I don't know, but definitely they were suggesting that these two would be competitors. One River bet $1 billion on Bitcoin and Ethereum in October of 2020, 2 months before the lawsuit. Clayton goes to One River within weeks of leaving the SEC. Mark Berger, the enforcement director who helped write the absurd, overbroad complaint, goes to Simpson Thacher with Hinman. And John Deaton's linking all the supporting evidence here with timelines. These are things that we've been talking about basically since the SEC lawsuit started, but putting it all together, it really smells rank. The SEC seeks $1.3 billion from Ripple and the two executives, but Ripple's co-founder Jed McCaleb has sold over $2 billion worth of XRP since the lawsuit was filed. Also, Ripple continues to sell XRP. So that's another interesting point that we should really focus on. Why is Jed able to sell his XRP consistently? We're not talking about small amounts. These are over-the-counter sales. These are millions and millions of XRP on the daily, by and large. Also, it doesn't make sense. Why is Ripple also allowed to continue to sell XRP? In fact, when Ripple objected to costly discovery, costing several hundreds of thousands of dollars, and this one really gets me, the SEC told the judge Ripple should sell XRP to fund it. The SEC literally recommended and encouraged Ripple to sell XRP while claiming those sales are illegal. Some of this is really smelling up the room, and some of this just doesn't make sense. In a lot of ways, why would they suggest to sell an illegal security if this is the exact thing, ironically, that they are being brought into court to do? So, to me, there's a lot of indications here that, again, this lawsuit was weaponized, as we know. So happy that John Deaton put this all in one tweet thread just to get our heads around all the points specifically, because I've talked about all these in various different videos over the years. So thanks so much to John Deaton for mentioning that on the heels of Gary Gensler's statement here, making it clear Bitcoin is the only one he is prepared to say is a commodity, at least at this time. But that's not to say there aren't more. I think they're just waiting for the SEC lawsuit to clear up before they finally let us in on what else will be considered a commodity. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.